Imagine for a moment that our minds are like vast libraries. Over time, we accumulate countless books of thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes. Some of these books are helpful, guiding us towards positive actions. But what if some of those books contain outdated, unhelpful, or even harmful stories that lead us down difficult paths that might even intersect with the justice system? How do we begin to rewrite those stories? Welcome to Corrections 101, where today we're pulling back the curtain on a widely used and often misunderstood approach to rehabilitation, cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT programs within correctional settings. It's an approach that centers on a powerful idea that by understanding and changing our thought patterns, we can change our lives and, crucially, reduce the likelihood of reoffending. At its heart, CBT in corrections is about helping individuals learn new ways of thinking that lead to new ways of behaving. It's a structured, evidence-informed therapeutic intervention built on the premise that our thoughts, attitudes, and beliefs aren't just random occurrences, they're direct drivers of our choices and actions. By identifying and altering those unhelpful or flawed thinking styles, individuals can develop more appropriate pro-social behaviors. It's less about simply punishing past actions and more about equipping people with tools for a better future. The roots of CBT trace back to the pioneering work of Dr. Aaron T. Beck in the 1960s. He observed that people suffering from emotional distress often had distorted or negative thought patterns, and that by addressing these thoughts, their emotional states and behaviors could improve. This foundational insight quickly expanded beyond individual therapy, finding a significant application in justice systems worldwide. The primary goals here are clear: to reduce reoffending, to sharpen problem-solving and decision-making skills, to improve self-control and emotional regulation, and to build effective coping mechanisms. It's a deep dive into an individual's internal processes, aimed at equipping them for better choices that benefit both themselves and society. So, how exactly do these programs work in practice? Think of them as structured courses designed to teach new mental habits. They typically involve individual or group therapy sessions, either inside correctional facilities or in community-based settings. The core principle, as we've discussed, is revolutionary in its simplicity. Your thoughts significantly influence your actions and feelings. Change the dysfunctional thought processes, and you can change the behavior that stems from them. It's like learning to identify a wrong turn in your mental GPS and then actively rerouting. Participants in CBT programs learn a range of vital skills. These aren't abstract theories, they're practical tools for everyday life. We're talking about cognitive skills training, which helps individuals recognize and challenge unhelpful thoughts. There's anger management, teaching strategies to de-escalate emotional responses. Moral development components encourage understanding the impact of actions on others. Relapse prevention strategies are crucial, helping individuals anticipate high-risk situations and plan healthy responses. And interpersonal problem-solving focuses on navigating social interactions more effectively. Essentially, participants learn to pause, consider the potential consequences of their thoughts and actions, and consciously adopt alternative, more constructive behaviors. It's about building a mental toolkit for navigating life's challenges without resorting to harmful patterns. These programs are typically offered to individuals across the justice system, including both juveniles and adults, often prioritizing those classified as high or moderate risk offenders. They're also adapted to address specific issues common among incarcerated populations, such as substance abuse, suicidal ideation, and trauma. You might encounter well-known programs like moral recognition therapy, or MRT, which focuses on moral reasoning and rehabilitation, or R&R, which builds cognitive and social skills, aggression replacement training, or ART, and thinking for a change, or T4C, which aims to improve self-control and social perspective taking. Developing and implementing these complex programs involves a wide array of dedicated individuals and organizations. On the governmental side, agencies like the U.S. Department of Justice, the National Institute of Corrections, and the Bureau of Prisons, particularly with initiatives like the First Step Act, play significant roles in funding, oversight, and policy. State entities like the Washington State Institute for Public Policy also contribute to evaluation and evidence-based practices. We also have program developers and researchers, building on the legacy of Aaron T. Beck, people like Little and Robinson, who developed MRT, and Ross R.R. and Fabiano E., associated with R&R. And of course, the correctional institutions themselves are the front lines, the primary sites where these programs are delivered, staffed by dedicated psychologists, master's-level clinicians, and other trained personnel. It's a huge collaborative effort focused on rehabilitation. Now, no significant intervention comes without its complexities, and CBT in corrections is no exception. It faces considerable scrutiny and ongoing debate, which is essential for its continued evolution and improvement. One of the most frequently asked questions is about its effectiveness and recidivism rates. Many studies, including meta-analyses, do suggest a meaningful reduction in reoffending, some indicating an average reduction of 25 to 30% compared to no treatment or less effective interventions. That's significant. However, questions remain about the consistency and durability of these effects. Researchers sometimes observe a decline effect over time, meaning the positive impacts might lessen further down the road. And there's the challenge of replicating highly controlled research findings in the often messy realities of real-world correctional settings. Then there's the scope and holistic approach debate. Critics sometimes argue that CBT, with its focus on individual psychological deficits, might inadvertently downplay the profound impact of broader social and economic determinants of crime. Things like poverty, lack of educational opportunities, housing instability, and systemic discrimination. The individualistic nature of CBT, while powerful, is seen by some as insufficient to address to complex external factors that often contribute to recidivism once someone is back in the community. It's like fixing a car's engine without looking at the roads it has to travel on. We also have to consider the issue of voluntary versus mandated participation. While some individuals genuinely volunteer for CBT, many inmates are referred or even subtly pressured into participation as a condition for parole or release. This raises valid questions about genuine engagement and internal motivation, which are often key to therapeutic success. If you're doing the time in a CBT group just to tick a box, are you truly internalizing the lessons? And finally, resource allocation is a recurring topic. The increasing integration of CBT programs, while positive, can sometimes lead to concerns about displacing or overshadowing other valuable rehabilitative services, such as traditional education, vocational training, or occupational therapy, which also play critical roles in successful reintegration. Furthermore, there's a well-documented shortage of mental health professionals in correctional settings, which constrain the effective delivery and scaling of these programs. Looking ahead, the future of CBT in corrections will undoubtedly involve continued efforts to refine its application and address these challenges. We can expect a persistent focus on improving implementation fidelity and ensuring robust, ongoing staff training. Integrating consistent psychosocial support for individuals upon release will be paramount to enhancing long-term effectiveness, extending the reach of rehabilitation beyond prison walls. Further research will be crucial to understand and mitigate that decline effect, and to tailor programs even more effectively for diverse offender populations and offense types. The ongoing debate about CBT's holistic scope also suggests a potential shift towards incorporating broader social and economic factors into comprehensive rehabilitation strategies. This means moving beyond solely individual psychological interventions to achieve more sustainable reductions in recidivism, recognizing that a person exists within a complex ecosystem. The continued involvement of various governmental agencies, program developers, and research entities signals an enduring commitment to evaluating and evolving CBT's vital role within the complex and ever-changing landscape of correctional rehabilitation. Ultimately, the story of CBT in corrections is one of immense potential and ongoing evolution. It's a powerful, evidence-based tool for personal transformation, but it's not a magic bullet. Its true promise lies in how thoughtfully it's implemented, how broadly it's supported, and how deeply we commit to addressing the multifaceted needs of individuals re-entering society. It's a testament to the belief that every individual has the capacity for change, and with the right tools and support, they can indeed rewrite their story. Thank you for joining me on Corrections 101. We hope this deep dive into CBT programs has provided clarity and sparked further understanding.